Hello and welcome to another edition of UFO Video Addicts. Let me give you a preview of what I got coming up in this video. The first is a cigar-shaped craft going up into the clouds. I'm pretty sure this was taken with a night vision camera. Also have this video from TMZ of some strange lights in the clouds above Chino Hills, California. Let's see, I got a couple from Reddit. This is a cloud that's most likely a cloaked craft. Also have this old video from 2006 of a UFO in China that takes off. You can see it quickly move in a certain direction. Let's see, this is a video I've shown before, and it's very, very quick. I mean, this guy does a analysis of it, but you see this giant wheel like this. I mean, you know, he's calling it Ezekiel's wheel, but there's this object here that's bigger than planet Earth. It's bigger than planet Earth, and it's moving across the solar system here. Also have this video, 5 bizarre accounts from history of UFO sightings. You know, like I've been saying, you know, these crafts have been watching us for literally thousands of years. So these are just 5 stories from history of UFO sightings. Also have this video of this guy, Sergeant Carl Wolf, where he was a technician at a top secret base, and he was shown images that revealed bases on Mars. And then last is this video here about this strange structure that was found on Mars. And this is in Italian, so, you know, you really can't understand what's going on, but, you know, you can definitely see that there's something here. But anyways, let me go to this first video here. Let me go full screen. This is only a 50-second video.
That is close to us. That is real close to us. Holy shit. What is that? It's too low to be a solar balloon. That thing just manifested right there as I was watching it.
You know, let me just jump to the end. You know, you're just going to see this thing slowly move up, and then when it gets to the end, it just sort of like disappears into the clouds.
What is that? It's going into the cloud. It's disappearing. It's gone. No, it's not. It's gone. It's whatever.
Right, one of our underwater neighbors. Let's see, let me go to this video here. This is from TMZ. Now, you know, this may be like Klieg lights. I think I've played this video. But I don't know, I'm not seeing, like, you know, the beam of lights.
What is this?
There's no beam going up to show that these are just lights.
Yeah, see, that's all I'm going to play of that. Link will be in the description. Yeah, like the guy says, there aren't any beams, you know. I mean, if this was Klieg lights or some other kind of illumination from the ground, you know, I would assume you would see the beams or the rays going up, but we're not seeing that. So, you know, yeah, I'm confused about this one. Anyways, link will be in the description. Let's go to this one here. This is from Reddit. Now, this definitely looks like a cloaked craft. Let me just play this here. You know, if this thing is the cloaked craft, man, this is huge. Okay, let's see. And that's that one. Link will be in the description. Let's go to this other one I found. Now, this is from 2006. Now, I actually have seen this video on YouTube many times in the past, and when I went to look for it recently, I'm not able to find it anymore. So this is one of those videos that, you know, that they've deleted off of the internet. You know, when YouTube first came out, everyone was throwing all kinds of amazing videos, you know, on YouTube, and like I'm doing now, I used to watch all these videos, and I can tell you there were so many strange phenomenon that I witnessed or that I saw videos of when YouTube first came out. And, ever since they went corporate, they got rid of all those videos. But anyways, check out this one here.
看这是什么东西啊？天上来，看这什么东西啊？姐里面，姐里面，看这是什么东西啊？是不是水滴啊？
You see that? Now, yeah, when you watch it, you can actually see it, just before it lights up, you can actually see it move to the left of the screen. Watch this again. Right as when it lights up, and then it's going to shoot off to the left. See that? Anyways, that's that from China from 2006. Let's go to this one here. Now, this is just a very short clip, actually. I think NASA only let this play for like 4 seconds. The guy just replays this whole thing over and over again. But you can see there's this giant structure here moving past. Now, I believe this is something that's monitoring. It's one of them. I believe it's one of the satellites, or it's a shield. I think there's a satellite back here, and I think there's a shield to protect the satellite. I believe. I'm not positive. Yeah, people have questioned what exactly is this object here that this thing moves past. I don't know. I don't know what that is. But here's, this is Earth. Here's Venus. Here's Mercury. Real quick, one question that that someone posed to me, right? If this is the night side of Earth and this is the day side of Earth, right? Because we're seeing the sun here. If Venus and Mercury is within the orbit of Earth, like, how do we see it? I've always been confused about that. Right? Here's Venus and Mercury. If Venus and Mercury are on the inside of Earth's orbit, right? How are we able to see these two planets at nighttime, right? Because wouldn't the Earth have to be facing this way, out looking away from the sun? That would be the night sky. So again, if Mercury and Venus, if their orbits are inside of Earth's orbit, how are we seeing these planets at nighttime? Anyways, yeah, that's something that's always confused me. Anyways, but check out this video here.
But please, take a look at this. This is pretty spectacular.
Here's something else. Like, what is this here? If this is Venus, this is Mercury, what is this object up here? And again, like this, I have no idea what it is. Some people said that it's some kind of a heat shield. But this object here, and there's one part where it actually lights up and you can really see that it has dimension to it.
Now, guys, this one has to have the wow factor to it. I mean, if you just look at the very size of this thing is huge. You can see the planets lining up next to it, Venus, Earth, Mercury, and this thing is bigger than them. But it's all a perception of distance. This thing could be further away, and if it's further away, this is a really huge ship.
Okay, did you see right there when it just sort of like lit up? Let me just back up there for a second. I think it's at like 115 or 116.
Further away, this is a really huge ship.
Right there, look at that. It's at 117. You can see there's, this creating a shadow. This thing has depth, has dimensions to it. But anyways, I don't want to play any more of this video. The link will be in the description. Check it out. Let's go to this video here. This is just 5 different stories. It starts from here in 74 BC, when these 2 Roman soldiers, I guess that's what they are, saw something in the sky. Here is this, this was supposedly a battle, 1561. This is a art piece that was created by it. And again, ask yourself, does it make more sense, right, that these crafts are all coming from different dimensions or different planets or different universes to, put on a display? Or is it more likely that they're coming up out of the oceans, and they've always been coming up out of the oceans, and they're now still coming up out of the oceans. Anyways, let's see, there's another one here, Nuremberg. Here's one, 1556 in Massachusetts. Let me just play this one a little. Or 1639 in Massachusetts.
Here, one James Everell, a sober, discreet man, and 2 others, saw a great light in the night at Muddy River. When it stood still, it flamed up and was about 3 yards square. When it ran, it was contracted into the figure of a swine. It ran as swift as an arrow towards Charlton, and so up and down about 2 or 3 hours. They came down in their lighter about a mile, and when it was all over, the men found themselves carried quite back against the tide to the place they came from.
Okay, this sounds like an abduction. Anyways, a link to this will be in the description. Let me go to this video here. Now, this is Sergeant Carl Wolf talking about, he was asked to fix some kind of display or some kind of projector. He was a technician, and he had top secret clearance, and he was given a higher clearance in order to work on this piece of equipment. Anyways, let me just let him tell you the story.
So he starts telling me all of this information, and I knew that what we were doing was classified anyway, and that he could only share a certain level of what he was doing with me because of the compartmentalized nature of our jobs. At any rate, he told me how everything worked. He showed me the equipment where the digital information came in, where it was converted to photographic images. They were doing 35 millimeter strips of film at that time, which were then assembled into 18.5 by 11 inch mosaics, they were called. There was a digital signature and a grayscale on every 35 millimeter strip. And those strips were from successive passes around the moon. And they would take and build up a photograph. They would scan one section of the moon, then another and another, and then they would get a larger image. So this mosaic then would be put in that contact printer, and that was then a print that was issued to whomever, the press, the scientist, whatever, wherever that was intended to go. So he was showing me how all this worked, and we walked over to one side of the lab, and he said, by the way, we've discovered a base on the back side of the moon. And I said, whose? What do you mean, whose? He said, yes, we've discovered a base on the backside of the moon. And at that point, I became frightened, and I was a little terrified, thinking to myself that if anybody walks in the room now, I know we're in jeopardy, we're in trouble, because he shouldn't be giving me this information. I was fascinated by it, but I also knew that he was overstepping a boundary that he shouldn't be stepping over. And then he pulled out one of these mosaics and showed this base, which had geometric shapes. There were towers, there were spherical buildings. There were very tall towers and things that looked somewhat like radar dishes, but they were large structures. So,
see, I think this right here is one of these radar dishes. See this thing right here where I'm circling? Anyways, keep going.
So I didn't say any more to him because I was concerned again that somebody was going to come in at any moment, would catch us having this conversation, and we would be in real trouble. I realized that he was telling me this information because he didn't have anybody else to talk to. Now, probably in that laboratory, he was probably one of the few enlisted people, and he was a worker bee. And he had a high-level security clearance, obviously, but he couldn't share that information with anybody else. And in those days, we didn't. When you had your security clearance, you took it seriously. It isn't like today where people don't take these things seriously. We had a different set of morals and ethics and values. That's the way we were raised, and we stayed bound by those agreements. So it was rare that someone would do something like this, but this fellow and I were the same rank. I think he was very distressed. He had the same pallor and demeanor as the scientists outside the room. They were just as concerned as he was, and he needed to discuss it with somebody. So that was the end of it right there. I didn't take it any further than that. I just filed it away. But the interesting thing, every day that I went home, I would think to myself, I can't wait to hear about this on the news, And, so I'd turn on the TV and I'd look at the news to see if they're going to announce we've discovered a base on the backside of the moon. Being really naive.
Again, of course, our government will never officially disclose, although, I keep saying disclosure is happening right now. I mean, the fact that, we're making laws to acknowledge that there's UFOs flying around our planet, I think that's kind of disclosure. So, there's still all of these Charlie Browns out there talking about, when the government discloses, forgetting all the other times that they've failed at disclosure. But anyways, let's go to this last video here. Now, this one is in Italian, I think it is, but, they're talking about this structure here, which was found on Mars. So now I don't understand anything this guy's saying, but let me just play a little bit of this.
Chissà quanto lo sia, questo rimane un mistero. Ma questa struttura aliena che è stata recentemente scoperta sulla superficie.
Yeah, I'm not going to play this whole thing, and they don't even really go a close-up of this thing, so I really couldn't find out any more on it. But the link will be in the description if you want to check it out. That is going to be it for this video. If you like things like this, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'll have more things like this. Take care.